start to get the cars formed up on it. We'll be looking at that final custom race to see how we're going to go and where we're going to... I've forgotten to pit. What an absolute nugget. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. We are inside a car with a very definitive, a very iconic, very recognisable steering wheel and interior. It is the one and only Bugatti Veyron. Remember watching Top Gear and Mr. Clarkson trying to get insured on one, talking about a W12 with a 16.4 litre engine and just being, you know, priced out of the market. No, sir, we can't insure you on that. £5 million for insurance, blah, 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 blah. What an absolute epic motor it is. And they still exist out there on the road. People still own them. People still collect them. We've moved on, though. We're at the Chiron and whichever models we're at now. But this is what it is, and it is a phenomenal car. Let's take a look at the settings for what we're doing. We are grinding round Sardinia. This has got 1,091 brake horsepower. It's on the soft tyres, and its PP comes in at just under target at 786.48. Fully customizable suspension, no changes, everything default. Fully customizable diff, no changes, everything default. Downforce, absolute maximum on the rear at 100. Rear, absolute maximum. Now, it's got a front lip, it's got side skirts, it's got no rear end, but it's got a high level wing with end plates of 20, our favourite combination. Fully customizable ECU at 100, no restrictions. Transmission set to racing at 480. As we can see, there's a right spread of gears. We've got to try and make this thing fuel efficient. No turbocharger. We have got the racing intercooler on there, which should be there for blowing air. I don't know what it's actually going to be like if we take that off. Actually only drops us by 3 HP, but I'd be worried about what that does to the fuel economy. It's absolutely tragic. Braking system. So we've just got the racing silencer on, and then the braking system, racing slotted discs, racing pads, brake controller on, nothing moved there. Racing clutch and flywheel, the carbon prop shaft, all the 5 stages of weight reduction, and that last one is painful. That's 500k. Increased body rigidity, and that takes us to a point where we're ready to go to the track. And here we are at Sardinia. We are grinding, we are doing the credit calculation. We're crunching credits, we're trying to get them in the bank, and I did predict I'd be around about 20 million credits by this point. But I've been buying cars and mods and rebuying cars because I've them up and etc, etc. So my credits aren't going the way that they're supposed to be going, but once I get stuck into this and start doing the grinding thing, that is picking out those cars with select and start running the laps, then my credits will build. Settings will be assist, traction control 1, default ABS, active stability management or ASM on and counter steer, assistance on strong. Settings for controller will be controller sensitivity 5, force feedback max torque 5, force feedback sensitivity 6. Are we ready to give this one a whirl? We'll have to see where it goes. It's got no teammate. Here we go then. Fuel map 6. So this car doesn't have any sort of family relationships within the race teams. There's no real VWs. I suppose at a real end of the street we could have the Audi R8 as its teammate, but that's a distant cousin. Our biggest thing to overcome at this point is fuel economy. So it's saying 4.9, but I know as they accelerate it's going to drop. Look, 4.5, 4.3, 4.2. We just got to get it through these laps. Short shift the way through. Got 4.0 there. That's terrible. Manage our fuel as best we can. Just getting a little bit dory there from Kawakami. Oh, the 458 almost goes careering off the track. and does a Widdowmaker and powers it into the barrier. We're okay fuel-wise. We just get around this corner on 4.0. We can dive into the pits as it goes to 3.9. No, we're good. We've got the fuel. We go down the inside, tight side. Come across in front of the boys, and there's our potential teammates. We put the BMW sideways. Mr. Grady. See if we can go around the outside of Mr. Grady. Yeah, he gives us the room. 3.9 on the fuel mileage. We're all right. Kind of blocked here with these two guys racing. We're gonna have to go past them. We've got plenty of fuel. 3.6. Just try not to hit the barrier too much. Got an itchy nose mid-panic. Fuel, we're doing okay. Just brush past our GTR colleague there, just absolutely manhandled him. So Fraga is what looks like 8.3 seconds ahead. 3.2 on the fuel, so there they are ahead. We've got to chase those boys down. Mr. Portilla out front, 12 seconds. We're just good on the fuel, so if we can just keep this going, close the gap to those guys in front, we should have nobody in front of us now. We can put in a decent lap time whilst being conscious of managing fuel. A 39.341 currently. See if we can make inroads into that. Half a second better at this point. Fuel is looking okay. Borderline. Almost shot through that corner. We'll have lost some of our advantage there. Beauvoir and Fraga are absolutely going for it. They're battling out up front. Beauvoir maintaining his lead. A 37.3, that's a decent lap time for a big chunky car. I've called it little in the past, but it's a big presence car. So we're just trying to maintain that fuel with constant battle, trying to short shift our way through it. Beauvoir and Fraga now just being drawn into our sights. Portilla is some 7 seconds ahead. Seven seconds from the leader. They're 4 seconds to Fraga now. We're not pitting this lap, we're pitting the next one. Beauvoir is generally trying to hold off Fraga. We should be ahead of these boys by now, but their battle is so ongoing. Portilla's gone to the pits and Beauvoir goes to the pits, so it's us versus Fraga. And we put in a 36.894. Now we've just got to be conscious the fuel level is very low. That 36.894 was the expense of a bit of a soft bat on this lap. Just got to tank it through, just got to sandbag it. We've just got to make sure we've got room to get there. We're still purple sectors even though we're trying to save fuel. Car obviously gets faster with the reducing weight limit. 20% of fuel to use each lap, and we're already at 10%, which is just a little bit frightening. Mr. Fraga is there. Are we going to get to the pit stop before Fraga? Or are we going in second place? 0.3 on the fuel. As we just blow that corner again. We're going to have to pit in second place. We don't have an option. But they were much quicker this race, and there we go in. We're taking the softs. We need to take those. That front right is over halfway done. We are a good 19 seconds ahead of third place. Fraga is actually going quite hard. Him and Beauvoir were racing neck and neck. So Fraga's about 20% more fuel in than we have. As Lopez, Grady, I'm guessing Mendoza, Bishop and Yamanaka. No, Yamanaka's looks like he's going past and we're away. Mendoza takes the lead, then Fraga and Yamanaka. So Fraga is literally just in front of us. And there's Portilla right on our 6. We've got to maintain that fuel save. The race is on. Yamanaka and Mendoza will be up for the pitting session. Just put Yamanaka behind us. We know we can do that quite comfortably. A little bit down on fuel already, 0.1 down. We've just got to... Yamanaka and Fraga are teammates. It's the same car. Equally as quick when they want to be. That was Mr. Fraga dispatched quite nicely. Once we've overtaken, and there's Mr. Mendoza goes to the pit. So we're now struggling along. Fuel's at 4.0, so we're good. 7th gear, just maintaining that fuel burn. Mr. Fraga dives up the inside. We kind of expected that. Just going to save the fuel. We know we've got him. We know we've got him. We're just going to let him follow. Or we'll let us follow. We'll let him lead. We're not going to let him run away with it. We're going to keep with him. Anything can happen with back markers, etc. Looks like the whole field is bunched together. We're up to... They're just coming through the start-finish straight. As we bump our way past Fraga, and he gives us a tap. We're going to ethically race him. I'm 100% sure of that. We're not. He backed off well away as we accelerated through there. He's not going to burn the fuel. He's fuel saving as well as us. 3.4 on the 3.4 on the fuel gauge. My guess is he's going to save his fuel for the push down the start-finish straight. That's where he's going to gain on us. Just running a conservative lap time. Serving fuel. He didn't make the dive this time. We've got 0.1 of fuel in hand here, so we're just going to run it. We're not going to let him keep up with us. We're just going to maintain the pressure. Less than a second ahead of Mr. Fraga. We've got to keep pushing. We've got to keep the pressure on, even though we're saving fuel. We've got to just try and open that gap. As we know from the last race and with the FX, anything could be happening at this point. Anything. We could be charging through here. We can get smashed into in the pits. We could miss this corner, smash into the wall. We've done it so many times. This corner at the end here, common for braking failure. Driver failure, not car failure, I must admit. Right, we've got 2.4 of fuel here. We've just pulled out to 3 seconds ahead. So let's see if we can put in an absolute storming lap. See where we can get that lap time down to. Nothing, because we overshot the final corner, and that's going to erode that time straight away, isn't it? There's a driver error for you straight away. We didn't brake in ample time, did we? That was an absolute nugget shot. Well, there you go. That was a plan blown, wasn't it? Portilla, Beauvoir, Miazano and Izal go to the pits. We're 3 seconds down. This will be a 41. Absolute shower of poop, Mr. Widdowmaker. What are you doing? Come on. We're grinding. We need to be safe. We don't need to be rattling it off the track. Come on. See if we can recover that position and try it again. We can't actually, because lap 10's an in-lap, so we're going to save it. And we're going to do it on lap 12 then. We're now aware we've got the race won without incident. If we don't have any incidents. I've had enough incidents today. This is the second time I've run the race because I forgot to pit, believe it or not. Here we go, on to the last lap of this stint. We've got plenty of fuel, so braking just before the 150. 4 seconds ahead of Mr. Fraga. Do I expect to see him challenging us again? I don't think so. He made such an early break for it that I'm pretty sure he is getting ahead, trying to maintain his second place. Mr. Portilla has not made his way through the field again. We're catching 10th place, well, on the 10th lap, our usual point for lapping, people, which sort of tells you where this car is in sort of its pace. It's up there with the good ones. We're regularly catching cars on the 10th lap to lap them. That's a good indicator of where we are. Fastest lap of 1:36.894. It's no slouch, but it's not the fastest of the bunch, we know. But it's an easy drive. Not if you forget to pit, it isn't. 5 seconds ahead. We're pitting on this lap. Be interesting to know whether it's a 25-minute car. Into the pits we go, full bore. There we go. Soft tyres take all the fuels. I've run out of refill fuel coolant, so we're just going to have to bear with it. As we come into the pits, Mr. Fraga is 7.34 seconds behind as he's gone in. Nobody else is anywhere near. We're taking our fuel after changing the tyres. And away we go. Nobody's with us. No, Lopez hasn't managed to make it through the field. 5.8 seconds ahead of Mr. Fraga. Mr. Lopez dives into the pits. So we've got quite a lead over them. The proximity to Fraga has really hidden just how good this car is. It sort of kept its capabilities under a hat. I was going to say under a bush, but that didn't kind of come out right. It's hiding the fact that just how good this car is. So Fraga is outshining himself at the minute. They started the race off really, really quickly. We're good for fuel at this point. It still looks like lap 12 could be. Let's see how fast we can get the car around a single lap. See what we can get the lap record to. We just have that one car in front of us that is the potential lapper. I don't know who that's going to be at this point. Whether that's going to be... Here we go then, 4 laps of fuel. We're going to have to just sandbag that. That's not enough. We're going to have to do it a little bit later. Is it going to be Solace? Is it going to be the Porsche Vinostroza? Is it going to be? Don't know, can't see it. Can't see who it is. It's red, so it looks like Solace again. Could be Wilk. No, it's Solace. .7 seconds ahead of Mr. Fraga. We're purple. Somebody else went to the pits then, don't know who that was. Fuel map 6, save that fuel. There was a 1:36.398. That's a pretty decent lap time for a little tank of a car. Just the 3 laps to go, 13, 14, 15. We are 12 seconds ahead of Mr. Fraga, who has driven his socks off in the first half of the race. Mr. Portilla goes to the pits on schedule. lap 13, 14 seconds ahead of Mr. Fraga. As we come to the end of lap 13, we can see in front of us the GTR. Is it GTR? Yes, it is. Mr. Ordonez down in 19th place. That's unusually low for him. We're off the track. Happy days. Just held that together. Fuel is not looking too good, to be honest. Mr. Ordonez just lets us go. That looks like Mr. Innestrosa ahead. Very comparable, I would say, with the FXX, this car. I think it's going to be similar on final time. I wonder if it'll lap more cars. We'll just get through this, short shift the way through. Fuel's on the 1.0. Looks like we'll have it all the way to the end, but we're going to power it through and see what we got. We're going to absolutely hammer it across the line. End of this lap. Mr. Gallo, 17th place. Not really prepared to give up his line to allow a car with the blue flags past. A little bit rude and obstructive. And on the final lap then, let's have a quick discussion, as I've been concentrating on getting this round, managing the fuel, and we're not doing a very good job of it. It's actually a very capable grinder. Without the incident with the FXX, I think this would be pretty similar into comparable to the two cars. But here it is, coming through across the finish line. We run out of fuel, but there it is, finished in first place and really quite capable. No major disasters. We took it off the track occasionally, but it was very capable winning car. It looked a bit tight at the start. A 25.47, so some 15 seconds ahead of the FXX, but some 45 seconds behind the GTR. So, like what you think what you like. Where did we get to? We lapped up to 16th, so very similar to the FXX. Fastest lap of the race, a 1:36.398, which was much quicker. Over one lap, this thing much faster, and it goes the money. 13.5 million. There we have it. 136 miles for the day. So what do you think? Is it what it should be? Could it be more than it should be? Is there any tunes that could make it a little bit better? Maybe. Up to you. We give you the basic tune. You can take that with what you like, and we prove it can win the race. Hotly contested first corner, that, wasn't it? But there we have it, folks. It's up to you. Whatever you want to do. We'll see you on the next one. All the best. Take care.